I am a completely unsuspecting fool. After 38 years of marriage, 3 grown married children, and 5 precious grandchildren, she pulls this shit. I have worked my ass off to finally be debt-free and 2 years away from retirement. She tells me she is in Arizona for an educators conference she is required to attend. I dropped her lying ass off at the airport with plans to pick her up Thursday. A coworker of mine is in Vegas for a PBR event. He sends me a picture of her in a casino with our primary care physician. So, it's Christmas and all the kids are coming here. I have looked forward to hunting with my son and grandsons. I don't know if I should blow the thing to hell or play it cool until after Christmas. I guess I could gather more evidence if I just pick her up and act as if all is well. I am not sure I can do that, but the other choice is to devastate my children at a terrible time of the year. This bitch sang a solo in church Sunday before she caught a flight on Monday to spend the week fucking the DR. I have never suspected her cheating in over 40 years of our relationship. I damn sure never have. I guess the life I was so secure in is over. I am glad my parents are not here to see this. I may just catch a flight tomorrow and find their ass. Probably use different names. The hell of it is both my brothers are dead and there is nobody I can tell this shit to. Maybe the pastor. Hell, she is probably blowing him too. Is he married? Pick her up from the airport and drop her off at his house. How to recover from a heartbreak. She cheated on me with another guy. I'm heartbroken and feel lonely and hopeless. I want to know how do I recover from this. She works in the same place as I do and may have to talk almost every day. Honestly, I'm done with her and I don't want to talk to her ever again. But since we work together we might have to talk. Are there any tips on getting over it and avoiding contact with her even for work? Just act like you don't give a shit when you see her. As time passes that will be the case. Am I being cheated on? My toothbrush vanished. Me and my current girlfriend had an issue today and basically she kicked me out the house. She then told me we needed some time apart but that didn't last long cause she told me to come over at 3 in the morning. When I got up I noticed my toothbrush was gone, like not just in the trash but real life gone. Am I tripped out for thinking she had someone over here? Cause why is my toothbrush gone? I toss my husband's toothbrush every other month. I also never throw it in his bathroom's trash can. I do it as part of my taking the trash out. I always have a stash of toothbrushes in the linen closet. Might not be cheating. Or your GF could have used it to clean the toilet as part of some revenge and they need to feel better plot, then decided against that after a moment of clarity, tossed it in the outside trash and doesn't want to own up to it. I left my ex 3 years ago. Today I just found out that he physically cheated on me and my blood is boiling. Today I was scrolling through my city subreddit and saw a comment that reminded me of a story my ex told me once. I clicked on the profile, read through some of the comments and quickly realized it was indeed him. Everything matches up 100%. I don't want to go into detail about what I saw, but I know it is for sure him. I then saw a comment he wrote where he said that he cheated on me with his ex multiple times. He said it happened the first time because he was horny and being stupid, and then he kept cheating on me after that because he was afraid that his ex would tell me if he didn't have sex with her. He wrote that the reason I left him was because he cheated on me with his ex. That's not true. I left him because I found out that he was sexting other women on an anonymous app. He claimed that he did it because he was insecure and was wondering what I saw in him. I had no idea he physically cheated on me until about 10 minutes ago and now I feel so much anger even though I haven't even spoken to him in years. After I found out that he was sexting other people, I asked him if he had ever physically cheated on me and he denied it even after I left him. So I just want to say that he is such a huge fucking liar, incredibly narcissistic, full of himself, immature, and straight up fucking stupid. I can't believe I wasted years on a pathetic man-child. That is all. My spouse sat me down and said. My common-law spouse of 15 years sat me down and told me he had been doing a lot of thinking. He said he wants to spend the rest of his life with me. I sincerely thought he was going to ask me to marry him. I was going to say yes. Then he told me he had met a FWB half his age and wanted to use her just for sex because we only have one life. Thoughts? Found out BF of 4 years cheated on me in first year and half of relationship. 2 days ago, IF23 found out my boyfriend M27 of nearly 4 years was cheating on me in our first year and a half of our relationship. He claims he didn't physically cheat, but he was emotionally invested in another woman F27 and would flirt very explicitly with her quite frequently. He didn't confess to this, but I simply found out because he failed to remove these 2-year-old messages from his phone and I happened to come across them randomly the other night. He says he is so sorry and claims nothing has ever happened in our relationship with him cheating, but that. I can't get it out of my head. He said some really crazy things to her like how he wanted to eat her PY and how he was going to masturb to her pictures. He also had feelings for this girl and to top it all off she is not good looking at all. It makes me question his entire being and makes me feel like I can never trust him because he's a liar and he would have kept lying if I never found out. I love him so much and our relationship has been good the past 2 years and he wants to put in the work as he says, but I'm not sure how to ever look at him the same again. I don't think I can, but I don't want to just end our nearly 4-year relationship over something early on, but there's also a lot that goes into it. What do you guys think? Any advice on how to forgive him and how to get the image of him being sexually aroused by another woman? It makes me sick to my stomach and it makes me not even want to look at him sometimes. Everyone is different. You sound like you want to stay, but there would be plenty of others that want to leave and never look back. He broke your trust. Trust is like a vase once broken, it can never be the same. Sure, you could eventually glue all the pieces back together, but it will always have cracks and always be a little bit weaker than it was before. Right now, you're trying to figure out how to glue the pieces back together, but I'm saying you might want to take some time to figure out if you want to glue the pieces back together. While you're thinking about that, look up sunk cost fallacy to help you deal with the fact that you've been together for 4 years. Wife cheated to get out of DUI in car impound. My wife confessed to cheating with an officer. Tried to put a protection order on me. Police department did not help. Filing for divorce hopefully before Christmas. On October 30th male 39 years old, received a message from a friend about a rumor of an officer sleeping with a guy's wife in the town I lived in. I was already suspicious because she, female 36 years old, changed her phone and computer passwords, spending a lot of time locked in the bathroom and would clear her browser history every time she got off her computer. We have been married for 15 years, but I only count 12 years since the affair started. It wasn't much to go on but decided what do I have to lose. So I confronted her and she confessed. She first told me he just pulled her out of the car and raped her. All she said she could remember was darkness and pain. I didn't believe her and told her I heard you were given a choice jailer sex. The next words out of her mouth was, he said no one would find out. And then ran to the bathroom. I was sitting at my desk, but we lived in a small house in an alley and could hear her in the bathroom asking him, who did you tell? After that she wanted to go to counseling for sexual assault by a police officer, we could get through this and we'll work it out. I still didn't believe she was telling the truth. Which led to her saying, it only happened once, it's not like I'm having a full-blown affair. I was sitting at my desk, but we lived in a small house in an alley and could hear her in the bathroom asking him, who did you tell? After that she wanted to go to counseling for sexual assault by a police officer, we could get through this and we'll work it out. I still didn't believe she was telling the truth. Which led to her saying, it only happened once, it's not like I'm having a full-blown affair. I told her I was done and leaving. That's when the fight started. She was trying to stop me from packing. She started throwing big bottles of vitamins at me. 2 of the 3 bottles hit me square in the middle of the forehead. I was bleeding and angry, I ended up smacking her, which still today I regret, but what I had just found out I'm glad that's all I did. Then she comes at me scratching and screaming, this is something that happened to me. I try holding her back, but she falls over her computer chair and let out a horrible scream while trying to kick and grab my crotch. After she calms down she calls the police and tells them I beat her and strangled her. They show up, I let them, they look at me, bleeding forehead and scratches on my face. They allow me to pack up some stuff and leave. I immediately called my brother and headed to another state. I was done with her. While on the drive she wanted me to come back, but I refuse. She called the police on the 31st of October, but didn't file a protection order until November the 3rd after she knew I wasn't coming back. So I did all I could to try and find the name of this guy, but couldn't find anything, so on the 7th of November, I called the police station. They took my statement but wanted a name. I told them I didn't have one, and how would I? It's not like I was with her when she was stopped, and said yeah sure, screw my wife, or was involved with their affair. All they did was call her, which she denied anything at all happened, and had a detective talk to the male officers. Did they think he would raise his hand and admit to it? No, looking at body cams to see if she was riding along with him or anything. It not a big department, 33 officers total, and you can take the female officers out of that. So nothing got done, but that's the police for you. On the 11th of November I had to go before a judge and plead my case over the protection order. The judge did not grant her one, but just extended the emergency one to follow the divorce. So it will just come down to who will pay for the fees. We didn't have much money, so I had to find a job in my new state and will hopefully be filing for divorce before Christmas. I lost a brother over this since he's a retired cop, called me a liar, asked if the guy should lose his job this, and put the stuff my soon-to-be ex-wife dropped off out on the porch for 2 days. It's a 5.5-hour drive to get back to the town it all happened in. To anyone who read the last time I posted it and supported me, thank you, and to the people who thought I was lying, it because I was there and heard the words come out of her mouth. Thank you for taking your time to read this, and I will be looking forward to meeting someone new who will treat me with love and respect. Oh, this video has come to an end. If you want more such cool stories, then go to one of the many following videos.